Alright, so the lightsaber company, basically they sold me an old board, an old speaker, and I don't like the old speaker, and I've come to the conclusion that the old board isn't that great either, so irritating, but it is what it is. So, since the RGB one that it came with is this one. So this is a Xeno 4.5 board, and this one is a Xeno 3.4 board. Now, near as I can tell, the electrical outs on these are pretty compatible. So all I need to do is take this connector, remove it from this board, and attach it to this board. Then in theory, then I can just use the speaker and in the housing it came in, and then just connect it right up. So I've taken pictures here, and the black is, I'm not sure how to make it. So red's hooked up to the positive, so that must be the voltage. Oh, interesting. They wired this one on the other side of the board here. So that one, so on the old one it looks like it's wired into
some new information is coming.
Red, green, I think that's ground. The black looks like, alright, R. So the bottom one is CS. I'm not sure what that is. On this one it's labeled SD. So we got R, and then R/G /E running into the next one. Not super clear, but it looks like the equivalent pad on this one for the white line is not populated. So I think the green line on this one, I think it's ground. Yeah, V negative G. I wonder if this is standardized. Let me see if I can find a chart. Oh, plenty of Profi charts. Oh, we got labels from the other side here. So, well, I think that is ground, so I don't know about that. Actually, these don't make a whole lot more sense. But the labels appear consistent at least. So the red to red here, pretty sure that's supposed to be the voltage line. This labeled plus here isn't a label on this one. Since this was an RGB one, I suspect that these might just be exactly what they are: red, green, blue, and then white for ground. Except the white one goes to one that's labeled R, so that's not helpful. So the colors probably don't have anything to do with the actual red, green, blue. They're just the bundle that was used. Probably have some kind of consistency to them, but not one that we're seeing today. So with any luck, I'm just going to melt the solder on this one, pop this off, melt the solder on this one, pop them off, and then pop them right back on. So let's give it a shot. Get that out of the way. Oh, I really should put down my project map first so I don't accidentally get solder on the table again. Come on. Try to get this pretty close to where things are supposed to be. All right. All right, see if we can bring them off. Using a battery-powered soldering iron. All right, 1 inches in. Heating it up. All right, so let's bring these wires around so that I can apply some direct pressure pulling them off. All right, should be up to temperature. Let's I think I need to scrape and tin a bit. Not getting great heat transfer. I'm not getting a lot of progress here. Oh, maybe we need to bump up the heat. All right. Here we go. Let's work on the green. All right, green wire up. All right, blue wire up. All right, white wire up. There we go. Disconnected. I mean, I should redo the solder, but the lumps on there still look pretty good. I should redo it. Ugh. All right. All right, let's bring cables around on this one too. Start with the innermost one, the black one. After the last one, seems like that's really right. And she's up. Right. Right. All out. Not a lot to these wires, but I guess that's all you need. All right. Disconnected. I'm going to get some nice pictures of these boards for reference. This one's at least all labeled. Let's have a look at the comparison. Okay. Check +1, check +2. So CHCK. Green says LED. So that, okay, so that's the light of the LED switch. And then K. I think I read somewhere that K is used in some areas to indicate the voltage. Here we got, oh, there's the plus. I see it now. There's plus there. And not sure. MD, CM, SD. Yeah, I think they both say SD at the front. So I think this is the hookup for some kind of SD thing. There's some unused pads here that on the looks like the equivalent on the opposite side. There's 6 of each of them. Interesting. Which one's the newer board? One of these was labeled on the bottom, and the other was not. This one, one of them was on the bottom. This one. Where's the one with? Why is it so hard to find anything on these? Xeno 3.4. So this is. That's what gotta make sure we know this one's the newer board. And you know, I probably should redo the solder just because it's going to be in different places than it was previously. So this is the Xeno 4.5. This is the Xeno 3.4. All right. Well, the upside seems pretty clean stuff, so I'm going to go get my solder sucker and my flux. All right. This is the old board. Let's just get it out of the way. New board. It should be nice to have it detached, but I really don't want to desolder anything I don't have to. Right. Oh, it shut off again. The downside of using a battery like this on this. Alright, bringing up. We're charged. This is going to be a lot easier with the hands. Where did I put my hands? Six, as safe as anywhere. Oh, good enough. You know, why am I doing that? I should really be using whatever the stuff is called that I can't remember. It's not melting through it. Alright, we'll just keep using. Just get this thing to stop moving. Oh. Don't want no fragments. Alright, I'm not a super great solderer. I do enough to get by, so do not use me as a learning guide for that. Alright, now I'm going to bring up the picture of how. Alright, so they have this rigged up with the red on the top one, so let's. First things first, so near as I can tell, the Pixel and the non-Pixel boards are basically the same board. They are the same board. And the SD card is what is used to configure them. They seem to default to so I'm trying to screw on the tip to my I might have to get a new thing of oh, that's really on there. What's this stuff called? Flux. Dang. Can't even get it off myself. It's really wrenched on there. So I'll have to get a tiny wrench. Okay. So, well, I guess I need to find out, can this flux come out at all? It can come out? Great. I think my flux needle is clogged. Do I have anything thin enough to go in there right around here? I don't think I do. Well, that sucks. Well, let's do a little manual application. Here we go. And boop, 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 boop. Just a little bit will do. All right. All right, let's attach these guys. We can see how there. Yeah. All right. Red, white, black. Here as I can tell, it should just be exactly the same. Where's my solder? All right. Oh, get it warmed up. Oh, I'm having some adhesion trouble. Make sure it's not. No, I'm having an adhesion trouble, but I'm not seeing where it's going though. There we go. All right, I think I got that. Yep, 3 distinct pads. Excellent. Right. Let's just melt it and oh, come on. All right. Red up top. Let's move that down and that. All right, it's in. Get the all right, there's white. And this is too much on here. Where did I put down my wick? It's under the phone. Here we go. All right, that's 3 wires. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. All right. Well, it's hooked up, so we should be able to do an electrical test. Now, if I can just figure out where I put the SD card. All right, the blue crystal. It says it's rated for 10 amps, which is more important for these pixel sabers. Yep. Ooh. For a second there, I thought I had it backwards. All right. Batteries in there. In theory, we have power, so. All right. Hold. All right. We have audio. I mean, this isn't really the part that's in question, though, so. Power it down. All right. SD card. I need the SD card because it has pixel configs on it. Now I took it out, and then what did I do with it? It's not over there, it's not over there. Oh, great. Good job, Matt. Let's go ahead and get flux on the table. Ah, there it is. All right. The SD card. All right. SD card just needs to go in here. All right, so now if I turn this on, we should have light.
Power on.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's light. Now let's see if we get the proper pixel animation. If I can get this to screw in properly. Come on, there we go. All right, let's switch that over to something that isn't just flickering, so we can make sure it's working right.
App connected. Wanderer, the Knight, the Assassin, the Dark Sword, New Horizon, the Chosen, Moonfield.
This is the best test because it does like a full rainbow effect all up and down, so we can tell if the RGB addressing is working right. I mean, that looks good. So this is the Xeno 4 board that was originally just a single color RGB emitter, resoldered to use a Xeno Pixel blade to make a so-called Xeno Pixel. And so I've got the better board in here again, and maybe more importantly for me, the better speaker. And I'm actually looking at getting one of those Profi boards and learning how to wire all this up and program it up. As a programmer, that appeals to me a lot. But for now, I think this will do me. So, it's that shrill noise. Let's get it all back together. Is power down?
Whispers of power. Power off.
Right, now I'm gonna pull that connector so I don't have to juggle everything. Now I'll take off the double-sided tape I was using to keep the speaker working on the other case. I say working, it was really not working. Alright, so we'll get the speaker in, get the connector in there, speaker and connector in there. Alright, so pull this back through here. Not gonna lie, happy with that soldering job. This goes in here, and then it attaches to, not this one, see that's the screw hole that made it so I couldn't just swap the speaker. Though I gotta say, I'm pretty convinced that the soundboard just sounds better on this one too, so I'm really glad to be able to switch over, well, back to it. Be nice if the seller wouldn't sell a wrong, obsolete board for something like that, but what are you gonna do? A lot of these guys are just drop shippers, and it's not like they. Honestly, I get so few. I ask all these technical questions about, like, hey, how is the wiring similar on this? Are these compatible with each other? What's it used for X, Y, Z? And I just don't get any answers out of them. They don't understand their product, which is frustrating. Part of the point of buying this versus just getting it from AliExpress or something like that is that you get it from somebody who understands how all this works. Right? That's the nubbin where that attaches to. So let's work that back in there. Alright, just got to make sure I'm not crushing any wires. Yeah, that looks clean. This is giving me some resistance, so I think something here. Oh yeah, that speaker wire is going to get caught all up in there. And this speaker wire Okay, and it's going to be down in this tray if I'm not careful, so I need to get that in there carefully. All right, and this side wires keep falling down, so I'm going to try to, no, I'll put this side down first. There we go, nice and flush. Ah, nice and flush, all right. And I'll put the screws for this over here. And I didn't put the other bit away. There it is. So most of these are the same size hex head. So it looks like it's S2H2.0 is the bit. It's a bit much power. I'm going to turn the torque down on my screwdriver to 1. A little too low. Turn down to 2. But these ones in the back here, this is a, you know, I don't want to use the electric driver on that. It's skipping a little too easily. It's a manual driver here. Alright, that's in there pretty good. And oh, and then this one goes in nice and easy. Alright. Oh, don't squish the wires. Don't squish the wires. Alright, and then there's just this one that holds the rest of it. Alright, there we go. Now you don't want to feel resistance on that because that means that you're tapping new threads into the plastic. You want to use whatever threads are already there. Alright, there we go. Got that flexibility. Yeah, we got a core. And where's the part I'm looking for? Look for this part. Oh, upside down. Slip this back on here. There we go. So in the back of this, there's this one. This is for attaching the core to the metal shell. Not super tight, just needs hanging in there. It's not load bearing. And then there's this long threaded thing. Doesn't have a typical head, but it does have a hole for torques. And that's what holds the switch up. So we don't want that super tight. Just let it hold it in there. And it feels like it's holding in pretty great. Oh, alright, we got the chip, we got the speaker, got the battery. Put a little resistance there. What am I feeling? Feels like it's alright. Alright, screw this back on. Alright.
Power on.
Oh yeah, much better sound than the other one did. This little speaker on the 3 is terrible. Honestly, it sounds like there's a lot of options for these things if you're going to get custom, and I believe in the near future we will be getting custom. I found ordered a Profi board from a stateside seller. Hopefully that means it doesn't take forever to get here. Wasn't that much more expensive than getting it off AliExpress, but at least if there's something wrong with it, I have somebody I can go and say, hey, I need this fixed. I know you can technically fix stuff with AliExpress, but I think we all know that's more of an uphill battle than we want to deal with for essentially a toy. All right, we got the better pins, we got the better microphone, we got the better board. Let's fire her up, make sure everything's good. I mean, what I am disappointed in is that I'm not going to say I have a useless core, but it's clearly an inferior core. I do have this other Xeno 4 board that I picked up off of AliExpress, which has much smaller wiring in it. And it's also for one where it's going to directly attach to the top. But, I mean, I have enough parts that as long as I just got a handle,
App connected.
I could just make another saber out of it. So,
The teacher, the second. The learner, the Dark Lord, the champion.
alright, we'll do the Dark Lord, just because that's always a nice, striking color. What was the Dark Lord Order Revisited?
The whisper, moon, the
It's dealing the other board when I was like just mowing through the presets here on the phone. It
New
would
Horizon, the chosen.
quite frequently start freaking out, and I actually had to shut down and restart a couple times. It definitely copes with it a lot better. So if you can get it, if you can, try to avoid a version 3 board.
New Horizon.
The Xeno, because the 4 is definitely
the Dark
better.
Sword, the Assassin, the Knight, Wanderer, the Protector, the Dark the Sun,
Oh, the
the
Dark
Dark
Empress one.
Empress.
Oh, that is slick.
The Sun, the third, the
Sun.
Sun.
Honestly, I love the green. I mean, a lot of people is the color they fell in love with. Is like, I know it's blues in the first movie, but this green, it's great. I mean, our eyes are really responsive to green, so. Doesn't look bad on camera, though. You get a little bit of that rolling shutter effect there. You can see the blade bending. That's fun. No, yeah, sounds definitely better. Not just the quality of the speaker, but the blending of the effects. It's less choppy. I hear the Profi is really amazing in that regard, so I'm looking forward to tinkering with that. But for now, at least, there we go. Got my lightsaber upgraded. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right. Woo. Well, now I get to clean up. I'm actually gonna leave the stream running while I clean up. So this is a case I 3D printed for my soldering kit. What is this? The pine sill? Somebody else designed the case. I modified it a bit, but it's like 95% still the original design, so. I just wish I could learn how to do this more efficiently. Because my wires, they like to pop out. You know, like once I get them in there, they're good, but well, once I get them in there and then get it shut, it's good, but oh, come grips properly like it used to. See, I redesigned this part to be able to hold this solder dispenser thing. Alright, come on, just stay put, man. Just stay put, just stay put, just stay put. Alright, it's shut. Alright. I used to have a plastic one of these, but I gotta say, this all-metal one, this is fantastic. Alright, put all this stuff away. I'm still going to do a little more. I'm going to put this one back together. I suppose I could wire... I don't know that I want to wire this up for RGB, but I'm going to keep all the parts and I'm going to put it all back together so that it's at least all contained. I'll turn that on. This is fun. Oh, I love it. Alright, dump all the solder shavings in the trash. I keep a toolbox under my computer desk. And the project mat on top of that. This away. I mean, all that went real clean. I'm real happy with how that went. I'm not happy that I had to do it, but I'm happy with how it went. All right, this is the other board. Screws for the board. There's that. All right. Just get it back together. Oh, where's the original speaker? All right, so technically got an extra pogo pin, but since it's designed to run separate from the rest of the body, it has a housing around it. Now I don't have another housing. I'd have to like glue this in place wherever it would end up going. So just gonna put that in there. Just with all those extra parts I got from them. That didn't end up helping me. Well, the pins did help. Just gonna plug in the speaker for this one. It's the only speaker that fits it. Now, if I was really feeling like it, what I would do is I would destroy this chunk right here so that the bigger speaker could fit in here. It wouldn't fix all the problems with the board. Like I said, I feel like when the effects weren't sounding nearly as good, like mixing wise, like I don't think that's the problem with the speaker. The problem with the speaker is it's got a real lack of range. But when you look at the size of the two speakers, you can clearly see that they're on two completely different levels in terms of the construction quality. All right, should be pretty simple. Just get that on there. Turn up the torque. That one's resisting me. I don't want to. We said I don't want to tap new plastic. So maybe this one's just nice and clean in there. And this one, clean enough. It's the only screw left, so that's where it's got to go, I guess. Alright, I don't have a body to put this in. I don't want this extra parts. There's the extra. Alright, there's the extra wires. I know this is just how they.
App disconnected.
I know this is just how they ship them, but having the batteries just stored in here long term. I don't jive with it. I also don't like how hard it is to get these out. I want to set up like a nice cloth. Actually, look, this is so hard to get out. The body is bending a bit as the battery is trying to get out. Not great. Come on. Come on. See, the thing is, I'm pretty sure like it's designed to more easily come out from the top, but there's no way to grip it and pull it from there. So gotta use some kind of tool. All right, put that on there. Just like that extra battery. I was thinking about returning it. I paid $60 for this core, and it ended up not really being usable because the pins up here, it's basically stuck in there. And I needed to be able to go around the crystal chamber and then come up here. So, yeah, like I said, if I got just a basic hilt, I've got an RGB option, I got a pixel option and an RGB option. So I'm maybe if a friend wants to put together one on the cheap, or if I'm gonna make a gift for my brother, maybe. Wires are much smaller in here. I'd probably want to redo at least some of the wiring, but that's what I need to deal with now. So, right. All right. That's that. There's that one. There's that one. Actually, you know, this is mine, so I'm just gonna keep this blue battery out. It's gonna be my spare. Toss it on my 18650 charger. Is it the same as the other one too? I've got some 15 amp ones. I wanted to do an analysis on the power usage of this, but I was having a lot of trouble actually measuring the power draw. So I ordered it's like a fake 18650 battery that has terminals that you can wire into. Figure I get that, and then I get something with better wire. Because my initial test, I was putting it in this, but I now understand that these super ass thin wires were introducing way too much voltage drop for it to function properly. So I need to rip these wires out, maybe solder some higher gauge wire onto these ends, and then between that and something that I can easily attach terminals to for testing the power, not just having to hold like 5 different wires in place, should be able to plug that in a multimeter, and we could do some tests on the power draw of these. Then we could tell for sure whether or not these so-called 10 amp batteries are sufficient. I mean, I haven't had an issue with them so far, but I trust it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put the old RGB light just rested in there. You know, I put all this stuff in the static bag, but this is where all these screws and stuff are supposed to be going. Alright, so I had to use up old parts to do it, but I mean, I have a working saber, I have a lot of spare parts. I suppose I don't have much to complain about. I could complain. I'd rather not have gotten an old board with the upgrade. I mean, I would have just asked them for the extended electric parts in the blade, so. But, you know, they don't make products for people like me. They make it for people who need things done for them for the most part. There's the missing wire. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to toss this on the charger. That's going to be that. Probably going to go out tonight, swing this around in the yard like an idiot.